Hello everyone, I'm the Saxy Gamer, and today we're here for a wrap-up of the Civilization 6 Wonder Spotlight series. So just like what I did at the end of the Leader Spotlight series, I'm putting all of the things into a nice little spreadsheet here that I will link in the video description below, and that'll kind of summarize the entirety of the series in one little thing. But just like I did, as I mentioned with the Leader Spotlight series, we're going to take a look at this spreadsheet and go over any of the wonders in which my opinion has changed, or wonders that have received changes since I did the Wonder Spotlights on them. So let's go ahead and get right into that. So also, just because I know everybody always likes to say, I actually increased my UI size here because I know in all the Let's Play videos, everybody's always telling me that they can't see because the UI is too small. So I made sure to zoom in here so that way everybody can read. So hopefully it's nice and readable. So this spreadsheet, as I mentioned, will be linked in the description below. It's the same one as the leader tier list. It's just the second page of it, so you can go ahead and take a look at that if you already have the link to the leader spotlights or to the leader tier list. But for our 5 ranked wonders, we have Temple of Artemis, Colosseum, Big Ben, Cristo, Venetian Arsenal, Eiffel Tower, and Roar Valley. So, do I think any of those need changed? I really don't think so. I think these are all pretty strong. The one that's maybe questionable is Big Ben. I feel like Big Ben maybe could move down to a 4. But one of the ones that I know that a lot of people were kind of upset about whenever I did the Wonder Spotlight on was Forbidden City. They thought that Forbidden City should be a ranked 5 wonder, and I think I definitely agree with that. So the thing with Forbidden City is that it gives you the extra wildcard policy slot, which pretty much means that this wonder can give you any bonus in the game from your policy cards. So it's very versatile, has a lot of uses, and a lot of those policy cards are pretty good. So being able to run one more of those is really strong. So I think I do agree with you guys. Let's go ahead and move Forbidden City up and shift all of these guys down one and make that one a 5. I've also learned about conditional formatting. Look at that. Yeah, we're really moving big brain this time. So anything else with regards to the 5-star wonders? I don't really think so. So Temple of Artemis, great one for early game. Colosseum, another amenity-based one that's really good. Not too difficult to build either. If you're looking for culture victory, Eiffel Tower, Cristo Redentor, these guys are pretty much, they're not crucial, but they are really, really helpful towards winning a culture victory. Venetian Arsenal, great for naval domination. Roar Valley is not a must-have, but a very good idea if you're going for science victory. And as I mentioned here, Forbidden City is just great for any victory type because you can use that wildcard policy for anything. So you can see I have the victory type column here, but I haven't filled it in yet, so I'll do that at some sort of later time. So let's go ahead and look at, that just reminds me, there will be another 5-star wonder, or 5 rating wonder that will be added up here, but we'll get to that one in a bit, and I'm sure you can probably all guess what it is. So for our 4 rating wonders, we have Petra, Pyramids, Terracotta Army, Hagia Sophia, Chichen Itza, Alhambra, Kilwa, Machu Picchu, Casa, Statue of Liberty, Oxford, Amundsen Scott, Estadio, and St. Basil's. So any of these that I think need to be changed? I think the answer is yes. Machu Picchu I don't think is a 4 wonder. I think Machu Picchu should get moved down to 3. It's so hard to build on Deity that it's really hard to ever actually utilize it well. So for that reason, I think it should definitely move down to 3. So let's go through and just talk about each of these one by one in case you haven't watched the Wonder Spotlight. But Petra, it's really great for, just beefing up a desert city. Pyramids are really good because you get the extra builder charge, so you can use that throughout the entire game because this wonder comes really early on in the game, and it gives you a lot of bonus in the long run. Terracotta Army is pretty good for domination victory because you get an extra promotion on your units. Hagia Sophia, great for religious victory. I honestly don't even remember what it does off the top of my head, but I remember that's okay. Chichen Itza is like Petra, but for jungle. Alhambra is another one of the extra policy card slots, except it's only a militaristic one, so that's it's decent. It's not as good as Forbidden City, but it's still pretty good. I just realized we're missing a wonder on here, aren't we? Never mind. Potala Palace is down there. I don't know why Potala Palace is a 3 and Alhambra is a 4, though. That's not right. I definitely think that Potala Palace should be a 4, so let's go ahead and move that one up. Potala Palace is another one of those wonders that gives you an extra policy card slot, so I think that is fittingly deserving of the 4 because you can use quite a bit. You can get quite a bit of benefit out of some diplomatic policy card slots. Machu Picchu, as I mentioned, let's move that one down to a 3. You get the extra, so I guess we're going to have to move these guys up, but you get the extra adjacency bonuses on certain districts that are next to mountains, which is okay if you have a ton of mountains, but if you don't have a ton of mountains, then it's really not all that great. Also, did I accidentally just swap names or something? How did Huayteocalli end up with a 4 down here? So, Statue of Liberty, great for a diplomatic victory just because it gives you a ton of diplomatic policy card slots. One thing to remember with this one is that if you don't have Gathering Storm and you don't have diplomatic victory, then Statue of Liberty is pretty much god-awful. Casa is just a good one if you're able to spread across multiple continents. Does it deserve the 4, though? I really don't know if it does. It's very difficult to, use properly. It's not hard to build, but it's pretty difficult to use. Yeah, this one I think I'm going to bump down to a 3. Casa's not a bad wonder, but it's definitely not, an insanely good one either. It's just very difficult to make great use of Casa in a given game, and I find myself very rarely doing it, so that's the reasoning kind of behind bumping that one down. And these ones we've talked about recently. So let's take a look at our 3-rated wonders. So we have, now Casa and Machu Picchu, Oracle Colossus, Great Lighthouse, Apadana, Mahabodhi Temple, Huayteo-Kali, Mont Saint Michel, Kitoku Inn, Potala Palace, which we need to move that one back up to a 4, but I accidentally undid that, so let's move that one back on up. So where were we? Huayteo-Kali, Mont Saint Michel, Kitoku Inn, Bolshoi, this one that I don't remember how to pronounce, and Golden Gate Bridge, which everybody apparently hates. I didn't realize so many people hated Golden Gate Bridge, but I found that out on the Wonder Spotlight that pretty much everybody hates Golden Gate Bridge. And does it deserve a 3? So I actually built this on stream a few days after I had done the Wonder Spotlight to kind of, be like, oh, look, told you guys. And not gonna lie, it was kind of underwhelming. I'm not going to put it in 1, though, because I don't think it's deserving of the 1. I don't think it's that painfully bad, but it definitely is not as good as I had originally hyped it up to be. I still think so the thing that separates it from the 1-tier wonders for me is that Golden Gate Bridge can be influential in winning you a victory. Most of these wonders down here pretty much do absolutely nothing towards getting you to a victory. So that's why I think Golden Gate Bridge should be 2 instead of a 1. But I'm sure that one's up to debate. I know a lot of people hate Golden Gate Bridge. I'm pretty sure, was it Potato McWhiskey that put it in G tier for Golden Gate Bridge for just being that awful? Or it might have been somebody else that I was watching that did that. But yeah, a lot of people hate Golden Gate Bridge. I really don't think it's that bad. One that I do kind of hate, though, is Great Lighthouse. This wonder is pretty bad. It's actually terrible. Let's move this one down. Oh, do I put it in 1 or 2? So the problem with Great Lighthouse is it gives you, 1 movement on all your naval units, which is okay, but it's really not that great. I guess I'm going to put it in 2. Just because I think in some games, if you're going for naval domination or something, Great Lighthouse can actually have an impact. But in most games, this is going to be pretty terrible. But just for that fact of naval domination, I think I'm gonna stick this one in the 2 rating. Everything else here, though, I think is pretty standard. These are all wonders that, if I'm able to build them, I generally will. But I don't prioritize it. The 4 and the 5s, I would kind of prioritize a little bit more. But 3s, they're not bad wonders, but they're definitely not first rush for every single game. Something like Mont Saint Michel it can be really good in certain cases, but not all of them. That's kind of the same thing with the Oracle or even Machu Picchu. It's good in some cases, but it's not universally good, and it's not an absolute massively game-changing and game-winning type of wonder to build. So for our 2 wonders, as we just mentioned, Great Lighthouse and Golden Gate Bridge, Great Library, it's not great. Maybe less than Great Library. Hanging Gardens, Jebel Barkal, Mausoleum, okay. Mausoleum. Let's talk about Mausoleum. So whenever I first did my Wonder Spotlight on Mausoleum, I did not give this one a good rating. As you can see, I gave it a 2, but my viewpoint on that has absolutely changed. So this wonder's bonuses have changed as well. So whenever I originally did this, I believe it gave, Great Admiral points, or it gave Great Admiral points, Great Engineer points, and then both of those guys got 1 extra charge. So now it no longer gives an extra charge to your Great Admirals, but it still does to your Great Engineers. And now it instead is like Ocean Petrel, where it gives, I believe it's culture and faith, or maybe it's culture and production on your coastal tiles. And this wonder is ridiculously good for science victory. Being able to get double charges on Great Engineers can be super insane, because there are Great Engineers that will give you percentage-based bonuses to your space part production. They will, just give you flat out 2,000 production towards your space parts. So being able to double that is ridiculously strong. This is easily a 5-tier wonder. I really don't know. I don't know if whenever I made this, if I had just never properly used Mausoleum, maybe that's the case. But if you're going for science victory, 100% build Mausoleum. It's so good. Aside from that, though, Jebel Barkal, yeah, Angkor Wat, Meenakshi Temple. Angkor Wat, I don't know. I almost want to move it up a tier just because the extra population actually can be good in some cases, and it is really easy to build. There's very few of the AI that like to build this wonder, and I find myself more and more building aqueducts. I think I'll leave it in 2 right now just because I still don't find myself building it a ton. I definitely build it more than I used to, but I still don't. I don't find it on the same level as the 3 wonders. Also, I forgot to change that to a 4. Same thing with most of these. So a lot of people really like Great Zimbabwe. I still have not. I've not been able to prove to myself the value of Great Zimbabwe. I can kind of see where people are able to get value from it because in certain cases, if you have a lot of bonus resources, this wonder can give you a ton of extra gold. But I feel like it's one of those wonders that's just kind of like too hard to make good use of. Kind of like Golden Gate Bridge that, in certain cases it can be really good, but in a lot of cases it's not all that good. And the other thing that I have with Great Zimbabwe is that gold, I guess gold kind of directly correlates to a win condition because you can buy buildings and stuff like that, but it's not the most direct route towards getting you towards a win condition. Great Bath also. So Great Bath, I think in normal mode deserves a 2. Great Bath in Apocalypse mode deserves at least like a solid 4, but I'm not gonna, go that pedantically with the spreadsheet itself, but let it be known that Great Bath in Apocalypse mode, or if you just have Stage 4 Wonders on, or Stage 4 Wonders, if you have 4 Intensity Disasters on, that this is a really, really good wonder because you just get so many floods, and that will give you massive faith, and in Apocalypse mode, you need faith to buy Soothsayers and things like that, so this is a really, really strong wonder for Apocalypse mode, but in normal games, it's absolutely terrible. I still have the 6 for difficulty here. Let's make that a 5. This isn't even difficulty, is it? No, that's consistency. So this actually should be a 4, and that one should be a 5. There we go. Yeah, this is a really, really difficult wonder to build, and in most games, if you're playing on Deity, you're not going to be able to build it. And now we have our 1-tier wonders, which are pretty much just crap. So Stonehenge, yep, it's absolutely terrible. Not at all worth the value of it because the thing is you can found a religion with it, but you can't build missionaries, so you can't spread that religion. So this wonder, absolutely terrible, and it's really hard to build because it's right at the beginning of the game. University of Sancor, it's not really kind of the same thing. It's just that this wonder is really hard to use properly, and it gives science to your opponents as well. So if you're playing on Deity, they're going to end up getting a lot more benefit out of it than you if they're sending trade routes to that city. So this wonder, still pretty terrible. Hermitage, which I found out is Russian and in fact not French, as I had said in the Wonder Spotlight. This wonder, still pretty bad. It's just like a glorified art museum that's like 10 times more expensive, not literally, but figuratively, it's a lot more expensive than an art museum and pretty much serves the same fashion, except you can't theme it, so that sucks, and that's why it's down here at 1. And then last, honestly, in my opinion, the worst wonder in the game, the Panama Canal, does pretty much absolutely nothing for you in most cases. Thank God it at least gives you a little bit of gold now, because when it didn't give gold, this was absolutely atrocious, but it gives you a little bit of gold, and in some games it can be fun to build because you get like a cheeky little canal through some places, but absolutely a terrible wonder, and it's not going to really do much for pretty much any victory. Maybe if you're playing naval domination and you can get some super strategic way to utilize it, that's probably about the only case where it's actually going to do something good for you. So yeah, this is the tier list. As I mentioned, the link is going to be in the video description below, and if you're interested in finding out more about any of the wonders, you can go ahead and just find the Wonder Spotlights in the Wonder Spotlight playlist, which this video will be a part of, hopefully, as long as I remember to put it there. Yeah, if you have any questions about any of the wonders or any extra comments, feel free to put them in the comment section below. But thank you everyone for watching. I have been the Saxy Gamer. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to like. If not, feel free to dislike. If you're looking for some more Civilization 6 content, feel free to subscribe. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.